Wild Robot. You know what? I'll do a little Dr. O. Rotten Tomatoes IMDb synopsis here. 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Wow.
98% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. 85% Metacritic. Synopsis goes: shipwrecked on a deserted island, a robot named Roz must learn to adapt to its new surroundings. Building relationships with the native animals, Roz soon develops a parental bond with an orphaned gosling. This movie is amazing.
Wow.
This is the exact opposite vibes compared to the first two movies here. This movie is everything as advertised. This will win Best Animated Feature, in my opinion, as of today. What was it? September 29th. As of today, this is my pick to win Animated Feature at the Oscars. And I wouldn't be surprised in a weak 2024 movie year, this gets nominated for Best Picture. This movie is awesome. It's everything we love about animated movies. It looks amazing, heartfelt story, not only for kids, but also for adults, not only in story, but also jokes. It is a perfect combination of the two. We just saw Transformers 1. We both really liked that movie, but definitely more for kids, but also has some stuff for us. This was a perfect combo. It is the definition for both. It is amazing. I mentioned the visuals. There are times where, like, if I brought Mrs. Flicks, I bet you would have cried multiple times throughout this movie. This movie's sentimental, but not like over your head with it. And again, it's funny. Some great voice performances. Lupita Nyong'o, gives a voice performance of all time playing this robot. If you told me it was Lupita Nyong'o, I would have no idea. It's not like Chris Pratt voicing Garfield or the Lego Movie or Mario. It's an unbelievable voice performance. I don't know how there was at times where I was like, how on earth is this a person? Like, it is unbelievable. Pedro Pascal plays like the Jason Bateman Fox character in Zootopia. He's basically the same thing here. Very good. I still prefer Jason Bateman in Zootopia as Fox, but Pedro Pascal, very good. Overall, awesome movie. Cannot recommend it enough. It is for everybody. The ending gets kind of crazy. Didn't really like the last 20 minutes from like a plot perspective, and it's kind of repetitive. If you've seen it, you understand what I mean. But overall, amazing movie. Cannot recommend it enough.
This is a lot to take in, Reggie Flex. I think I have to see this movie. This cast seems great. I love seeing Lupita Nyong'o having a sneaky great 2024 when you think of A Quiet Place Day One. And then you think about this movie, Wild Robot. Apparently she gets to shine according to you. And I'm looking at the box office here, $35 million domestically.
Domestic, yeah.
One of the biggest openings for a non-franchise animated film in years. So what was his budget? Budget was like 75. Is that right? It was pretty expensive to make this animated movie.
I actually think it hit triple digits.
Wow. Really? That makes it.
Oh, no, 78. I was wrong. 78
75? 78. Okay. So this seemed like it was an ambitious project for DreamWorks. And I think they kind of knew they had something special with the amount of resources that went into it, the actors that are saying yes to this. And you mentioned Lupita, but Pedro Pascal doing this, who is like one of the A-list movie stars, blockbuster stars we have right now. And then also has Bill Nighy here, who's like he's an Oscar-nominated actor, someone I love whenever he appears in anything, makes the movie at least 5% better, or I take it seriously. So this is a movie that's based off a chapter book for a kid, right?
Yep, a novel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think, and it's obviously going to appeal to a younger audience, but the key to success and to see like real box office potential is when it breaks through. It's not just for kids, it's for adults too. And it definitely was that vibe for you. It's for adults and you teach you something, feel something.
Yeah, like it was definitely both. And I mentioned in the synopsis, the parental aspect of it, that was a huge, huge part of this movie. And that was like directly for adults.
Mm-hmm.
Kids, they're going to see like this young Gosling, running around. Like, its mom is a robot.
Oh, it was a goose. It was a goose, right?
Yeah, a goose. Yeah. So like a big part, it's like an underdog story too, where this Gosling, this baby goose, he's never going to be like a full-blown goose, like size-wise. And Goslings usually die. Like it doesn't lean away from that. It says like you are supposed to die. He basically tells him that. And this robot is trying to get this goose to swim and to fly so it can make the migration, right? And it is not supposed to make the migration. These goslings are supposed to die by winter because they cannot fly, they cannot swim, unlike normal average geese. So this robot and Pedro Pascal's Fox character are trying to like be parents to this gosling and like try to get this guy or this baby into like a goose and like have a sense of belonging with the geese society. And it's so good because like the robot also is trying to find its belonging in this wilderness where everybody thinks it's a monster and hates it. I'm going crazy like for this movie, but like total glazing right now. But dude, it is so
Yeah.
good. Like and I think the biggest comment I could say is that if you're writing this movie, like you've never read this book, you have no idea, and you're watching this movie, you're like, oh, I can predict this movie. The migration's gonna happen. The geese, it's gonna be a big climax. Like they're gonna have to go their separate ways. Yada yada yada. No, not so fast. Lee Corso, not so fast. This movie's like migration is like the end of the first act. This movie has so much more to it. It is awesome. I cannot recommend enough. Again, the ending kind of gets crazy and redundant, and I didn't like that. But overall, awesome movie.
Movie has depth. Movie has layers, just like ogres have layers. And I think DreamWorks stock is up right now. Do you think this is potentially a franchise for DreamWorks? Does it end in a way that you could see them making future movies with the Wild Robot?
There's clearly movies that like set up for a sequel, right? Even though they haven't been greenlit, like we're not asking for them or whatnot, but they clearly tell you like, oh, we're trying to do a trilogy here. We're trying to do more movies. This one ends like open and shut case, boom. But they do leave that like just naturally, like you could see how they could do another movie.
I am looking at the Wild Robot book, and it is a series. There's multiple books. And this makes me think that this is just the beginning. And I wonder, like, what is going to be if this movie wins Best Animated Feature? You know, doesn't seem like it has much competition at the Oscars. Like, you almost like judging by the success of this movie, we could see a sequel happening. Box office, $35 million. Great for a non-franchise, but usually great for a non-franchise. That title doesn't stay for long because all of a sudden it becomes a franchise because of the success that it's not a franchise. And then it kind of spirals into this big thing. And I know there's Glow coming out, and it doesn't seem like there's much competition in terms of like Disney this year, like Pixar, I should say, with anything with the Wild Robot animation wise. No Spider-Verse this year. So I think it has a clear lane, or at least it's going to be 1-2 with the Glow movie. And I think I saw your face perk up when I said it's going to have minimal competition. Is that what you were referring to?
So like yeah, the Flow movies won.
Flow. What did I say? Glow? Flow.
Yeah, like there's some other competition out there. Pixar does have Inside Out too, which will make a push. They will put their stock behind.
But you would put Wild Robot ahead of Inside Out too.
Light years. You'll see by my score, like it is light years better. It is not even close. Flow, The Wallace and Gromit, Netflix is gonna put everything they have behind that. There's this movie out of Australia with Eric Bana. It's a memoir of a snail that's getting a lot of buzz. And the Lord of the Ring, Warner Brothers, Rohirrim movie that comes out in December is also another one. The Pharrell Lego movie is also another one.
Is that I don't know if I take that one seriously enough. I don't know if that's
they're pushing. But like point is like this, you are right. There is a clear lane for them to win. But I even see like week movie year, people are like trying to figure out like the 10 best picture nominees because you have to have 10 now. I doubt this happens, but if there was like I was trying to look for betting odds for like a Wild Robot like to make a best picture nominees. I couldn't find one, just only to win best picture, which it won't. But just to be a nominee, depending on this, like I could totally see like a push for it to try to get a nomination for best picture.
That's bold. That's bold.
Even though like again, like I don't think it's like a revolutionary movie. I know I'm glazing this movie hard. I don't think it's like this is the best animation movie of the year, one of the best in the past few years. I don't think it's on the level of like Toy Story or anything. I'm not trying to put it on that pedestal. But I'm just saying, like, it is just nice and refreshing that we could still do these type of movies. And it is a series, a book series, you said. I could totally see them doing more movies because of the success from the box office. And, like, dude, like, I was at the movies and, like, I was at a packed theater and I saw it in digital. And, dude, the kids were buying, like, the action figure popcorn bucket sets. Like, kids know this series. And, like, they are attached to this Wild Robot. Roz, like they are attached. I could see getting that attachment, the action figures, and that like buzz around it. Not to the extent of like freaking Frozen, but like just saying, wow, like we could do a great DreamWorks trilogy here or whatever.
It'd be sick if they just said like this isn't going to be as massive a franchise, but like they have a clear trilogy set for an animated like movie, like for an animated franchise. That would be awesome. You know, I am tempted to see it, and if it's nominated for Best Picture, we just have to remind the audience: animation is cinema. Guillermo del Toro. Excellent. Do you have a score for this? Did you give one?
Uh,
Do you want to like save it for when I see it and then we give the score next week, or do you want to do it now?
I got to do it now. I got it. I'm bouncing
101.
between two. I'm 90s for sure. I'm gonna give 93. Like, dude, I'm telling you. And shout out Vig Rhames. He's like this cool Falcon in it, Thunderbolt. Awesome, like mini like voice performance there. And Mark Hamill's in it too, and he has a nice little like voice performance too. And a bunch of other people do too. But like Catherine O'Hara's in this, like some other good ones. But like Ving Rhames, like when he came on, I was like, damn, this is like hilarious, like good in a good way.
Excellent, Ricky Flex. I will see it probably at some point this week, and then I'll let you know if the 93 out of 100. That's like the high bar you've set.